Good evening, guys. Am I audible? Okay. So we are going to start with rest assured today. I think serialization and it is completed. So because of some marks card related issues, I did not take the session on purpose yesterday. Okay, because we were waiting. Okay, a couple of candidates' profiles were still on the way. I mean, marks cards. That's the reason. So I think you'll be getting your confirmation mails also because they have collected a couple of marks cards. Okay. So we'll start with rest assured today. We'll not waste much time. So before getting into rest assured, can you tell me what was the main disadvantage of postman? What is a disadvantage of postman? If there are no disadvantages, then we can tell postman itself is a very convenient tool, right? Nobody would have used rest assured at all. So what is the main disadvantage?
We are doing manual testing, and if there are more number of regression cycle or something like that, then we are going for automation, selling. So the same thing I think for APIs, we are having more number of APIs, so we need to automate that. So for that purpose, we should use REST issue. And maybe the result output, what we are getting from the postman, maybe more clarity to put together while we using REST issue.
Okay, whatever you have told, can I put it in one word? We cannot automate end-to-end scenarios.
Yeah.
Agree? See, postman will never tell you cannot execute or you cannot test end-to-end scenarios. You can do it. Okay, you can do end-to-end testing, but you cannot automate the process. Say, for example, I got a situation. Okay, let me take up the situation. Okay, scenario says, okay, log into application. Okay, select a product, add the product to the cart. Okay, add the product to the cart and execute a get API request and verify the response in API. Okay, write a select query and verify the cart table in database. Can I tell this is an end-to-end scenario? Is this an end-to-end scenario?
Yeah.
Yes, no. You are adding the product. Let me take it as, okay, this thing you are performing in your UI. Correct? You are performing this in UI. And you have a situation wherein it is telling execute a get request and do the validation in API. And he's also telling you execute a request and perform or verify it in your database also. Okay, these kind of situations are a beautiful example for, okay, interlayers. Okay, all the multiple layers are included. Okay, this is one of the end-to-end scenario what you are going to get. Basically, if you are using Postman, you should add the product, manually through UI, you can write a script for this. Okay, and you can also write a script for this because we know JDBC. But can you write script for API if you know only Postman? No, right? It's not possible. That is why that is why we have to make use of Rest Assured. What Rest Assured offers, if you ask me, okay, Rest Assured is just a Java library. Okay, it's a Java library, or we also call it as headless client. Okay, Java headless client. Okay, which will integrate well with existing Java based framework. That means how you are automating the process, how you are using Selenium, how you are using TestNG, how you are using database, MySQL connector. In the same way, you can use Rest Assured. The reason is it is also a .jar file. It is not any UI based. Your Postman is what? It's UI. So there is completely new UI for that built upon. So you cannot integrate that with your existing framework. But Rest Assured is not like that. It's just a jar file. You add the dependency, it is going to give you the tool structure. And no need to learn. Say for example, you got a Postman. Okay, instead of having all the snippets, you want to do a specific kind of validation. Okay, I'll tell. You want to do a specific kind of validation. You want to write your own snippet. So can you write it easily? Can you write your own snippet easily? No, right? At least some amount of R&D is needed. You have to understand JavaScript. Only then you can perform your programming. But here it is not like that. You know Java very well. You know automation very well. With your known knowledge itself, you are adding a small portion to it. Okay? So coming to the point, what is headless client if you ask me? Headless client means it does not have any existence. Okay, take for example all your jar files, all your jars. It might be Selenium, it might be TestNG. Okay, all these are headless libraries. They don't have individual existence. If you want to use them, you need some IDE. Okay, you need some IDE, maybe Eclipse or IntelliJ. Okay, like that you need to have some IDE. Only with the help of them you can utilize it. If you observe, Postman is not like that. You don't need any IDE because it has its own built upon library. Okay, built upon UI. Whereas these people have no UIs. Okay, they are just libraries. So if you have Eclipse, only then you can use it. Okay, Eclipse or any IDE for that matter. Okay, headless client means it does not have individual existence. It's just a library, set of programs. Okay, so if you want to make use of it, you need to have the help of some IDEs. Okay, so how it goes, if you ask me, let's say this is my Eclipse. This is the IDE I'm using. You can use IntelliJ also. Okay, so what I'm going to do is the same imagination. There are 3 layers. Okay, 3-tier architecture of my project. So this is my presentation layer or GUI layer, or we also call it as browser layer. So this is nothing but my front end. Okay, similarly this is my business layer, or this is also called as my server layer, or we also call it as source code layer. The reason why I'm writing everything is recall. Okay, source code layer. Okay, so this contributes your backend. Similarly, you have database layer, or it's also called as storage layer. This also contributes the backend. Okay, now to automate UI or to test presentation layer, we are going to make use of Selenium. Okay, to test business layer, okay, precisely I'm talking about API testing, I'm not talking about UI testing. So we are going to make use of rest assured. To test or to automate database related, I will make use of JDBC. And no, we are not going to do it, because ETL is not like a simple database validation. It's a different story. Okay, yeah, but it is, yeah, database testing itself. So all these three tools will be embedded inside my Eclipse. Okay, all the three tools will be embedded in my Eclipse, because all the three tools are headless clients. All the three tools are just libraries. So I can easily integrate them inside an Eclipse project. Okay, inside an IDE. Now take up the situation. So you want to automate UI. So what you are going to use? You can use Selenium. You want to automate API, you use rest assured. You want to automate the database, you use JDBC. Single program, all the three layers you will touch and you will come with the help of rest assured. Okay, so in these kind of scenarios also, automation engineers can take up because of rest assured. Okay, most of the situations, because what we do is, initially when you start with API testing, UI will not be developed. Okay, UI development will take time. API development is easy, because they'll do the functionality after preparing or developing the functionality. They will just prepare a Swagger and they'll give it to you for testing. Okay, you no need to wait for UI. UI is a separate set of developers will be involved. Okay, UI development is little tricky, because they have to think about placements, logic, integration, everything. Okay, it takes little time. So if APIs are developed and given to you for you, when you start testing, what happens? You are going to test only API and database. These two things you are going to be doing. When you get UI, all the situations, all the scenarios which had UI involvement will be held up. Only when you get the UI, you have to automate. So at that time, you cannot sit and manually keep on trying the things. Okay, you have to automate it, and you have to give your job to the Jenkins. Okay, I'll explain you. But as of now, you analyze. So automating end-to-end scenarios is very difficult in Postman, or it cannot be automated at all. So we have to go for rest assured. Vikas, your question is not clear. That means the advantage of Postman is when we don't have UI. Yeah, maybe you can take. Yeah, I understood. See, I tell at Postman why, because when you start initially with API testing, immediately understanding libraries of rest assured will be little complex. Okay, so people start with Postman, get hold of APIs. How do they respond? Okay, it's basically like manual testing. Say, for example, you are automating UI only. Forget about API, everything. I'm automating UI. Okay. So I got a doubt. Well, one of the test cases are not clear. So what I'm going to do when you get the test case? I will execute it manually. Correct? No? I will execute the test case manually. I will analyze, then come back and write the test script. Postman is used by automation engineers for this purpose. They want to write script in rest assured, but they are not very clear. That time you can go to Postman, execute it, because it is UI, it is going to give you the result. Okay, it is going to display you the result. you can perform changes and then you can come back to rest assured. That's how automation engineers are using Postman. Okay, both, Ayush, both, because the project what you have, that project itself, you are going to create a scope for API. Okay, it's not like a different two different projects. And for only API testing, nobody will have the entire project running. No, API testing will run only for few sprints. That's it. Okay, few sprints, because all the modules will not expose API. Take an example of your bank, okay, HDFC Bank or anything. APIs will be exposed only for payment gateways. You have to test only those APIs which are exposed. So need not do API testing for the entire project. It will not be there. Hardly 2 to 3 modules will be exposing APIs. That's all. Okay, we'll see that more precisely. So yes, in real time, I can tell compared to API testing, we'll be doing automation only more, because a lot of regression scenarios will be there, UI changes will be happening. Automation only will do it more. So that's why API is not called as full-fledged testing. It is just an upskilling process. That's it. Okay, you should know this. Basic is automation. With this, you are going to do some, some idea, some upskilling, because there is one more option. Okay, that's it. API, APM, and all. They are all upskilling process. Okay. So this is a brief introduction about rest assured. So it integrates well. Okay, it supports multiple languages. Okay, rest assured is basically like okay, we prefer to use something called as BDD approach. Okay, BDD approach, which helps the coding much more easy. Okay, it has inbuilt methods. Okay, it has inbuilt methods for verification and validation, everything. Okay, these are some of the advantages why we prefer rest assured. I think in the document yesterday what I have shared, everything is present. So have a look at it once. Okay. So shall I go to the class diagram? Shall I go to the class diagram? Yeah. Class diagram is little tricky. So please concentrate and then understand. If any point is needed, so let me help you out. So when you add the dependency, okay, library, or let me take it as 1 second. Okay, when you add the rest assured dependency, what all classes you get, what all interfaces you get, that is the class diagram. Okay, rest assured is the dependency name. So if you add this library, what all you are going to get? Okay, so it has a main class called as rest assured. And always remember, everything present in this rest assured library is, instead of dependency, I'll add it as library. Okay, so inside rest assured library, whatever you have, all are static. Okay, all are static methods and static variables. So if you want to access them, mandatorily you have to call them by class name. So all the methods and variables are static. Out of this, okay, rest assured is the main class. Okay, it is the main class of your rest assured library. You might get confused because the class name is also rest assured only. Okay, in this what all we have is, first, okay, you have all the HTTP methods, get, put, patch, I forgot post only, post, it's a method name always starts with small letter. So delete. Okay, rest assured class will first have all the HTTP methods necessary. After this, okay, it has methods like given, when, then. Okay, given, when, then. These three are the methods which are used to make scripting more easy. Okay, these three methods are going to support BDD approach. With this, couple of variables are there. Okay, base URI, port, okay, base path. Okay, all these are couple of static variables present in this particular class. Okay, in this particular class. Let me repeat. Main class of rest assured library is rest assured. Okay, so it consists of all the HTTP methods. Important, I'm telling important. Still, there are so many. In the diagram, it is there in your notes. I'm highlighting what is needed. Okay, so given, when, then for BDD approach, and these are the variables which are present. Okay, now observe. No, given, when, then I will elaborate when I go for BDD approach. Okay, because at that time I can take example of actual BDD framework and rest assured how it is compared. So I'm not stressing more on this. Okay, I will explain it. Because if I get inside that, then one second. If I go in deep about given, when, then the connectivity for class diagram will be gone. Okay, so I'm trying to avoid. Okay, so I'll explain. We'll take care of it. Okay, as of now, in this class, you imagine these are the methods present.
It is same like that we used to do in Selenium, right? There will be a non-static classes, and that if there are non-static, then we will call with the help of that object.
Everything is same. See, it's all Java. Java is the same. Java will never change. Okay.
Yeah.
So in this library, you have everything that is static. So you have to call it by the class name. Okay, man, they have made it as static. Okay.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. Okay. So now observe, guys. Okay, so you have all these HTTP methods. All are HTTP methods. So what is the return type of these HTTP methods? What will be the return type? If you think, okay, so tell me, if you send any request, it might be a get request, it might be a put request, patch, delete, whatever it is, you are sending a request to the server. What it is going to give you? What it is going to give you? When you send a request, what is it going to give you?
Response.
It is going to give you the response. Any HTTP method is sending a request. Please remember, nobody else will send the request. If you have to do any requesting, then you should do it with the help of these HTTP methods only. So the return type of these HTTP methods is response. Okay, it's an interface. Response is an interface present. So it is the return type of all the HTTP methods. Okay, it is the return type. Now, what all methods does this interface has? Okay, so it has, okay, method is JSON path, XML path. Okay, because you got a response. Now you need to do the validation. Okay, for providing validation, he is having these many methods. HTML path. Okay, so one second, let me write one more here. So you have a method called as then here also. I'll tell you what is the significance. And there are some getter methods like get content type, whatever you want, because from response only you have to get all these things. Okay, get status code, get header, get body, get time. Lot of methods are there. I'm just trying to specify only the important ones. Okay, so response interface has these many methods. Then, okay, content type, all getter methods. Whatever you want to get it from the response, you can get it with the help of getters. And there are some validation related methods. Okay, JSON path, XML path, okay, HTML path. These are all used for validations. Okay, this is the written type of your response or methods present in your response. Now observe, now observe, I'll give you one more hint. So when we are talking about given, as per the BDD process, we are going to use given for setting preconditions. Okay, so we are going to use when for setting up actual request. Okay, we are going to use then for validations. Okay, given will always hold good for preconditions, when will hold good for the request or action, then will hold good for validation. So wherever you have then, okay, so this is also your then method, this is also your then method. Why he is giving in two different places is, if you are using rest assured directly, you can call this method, or if you are capturing the response, then you can call this method. Okay, the reason is simple, but the beauty here is he is maintaining the same names. From wherever you call, these methods will work as same. Okay, anywhere. And also, they are all referred through class names. So you cannot jump from one class to another class. Not possible. Okay, it is all static methods. Mandatorily, you have to have the reference. Call the class name and then only you have to call. Okay, to ease the process, they are providing then twice. Okay, this then method is going to return you, okay, something called as validatable response, which is an interface. Okay, this then method is going to return you validatable response. This is again an interface. Okay, which is going to return validatable response? Then, wherever it is. Okay, both the then methods, the return type is same. Invalidatable response, we have couple of methods like, okay, log all, okay, rest assured also of supports assertions, so you can use a method called as assert that, wherein you can assert for status code. Okay, you can assert for content type. Okay, you can assert for cookies. Okay, you can assert for cookies. Okay, like this, lot of assertions you can give with the help of validatable response. So key point here, what you should understand is, whenever you want to do any validation, then you have to call first then method. With the help of then only you can provide validations. And if you observe, response is going to give you just getters. Assertions are given by your validatable response. Until this point, it is clear. Until this point, I'm trying to go slow so that you will understand it. Now observe. Now observe. As I said, as I said, so I understood what is validatable response, what is, how do you send a request, how do you capture the response. Next point comes, what is, you have certain preconditions to be set. What are these preconditions if you ask me? maybe authentications, maybe parameters, maybe request body. All these are treated as preconditions. So if you want to give any preconditions, mandatorily you have to call given method. Okay, this given method is going to return you something called as request request specification, which is also an interface. Okay, which is also an interface. So who is going to return request specification? Okay, given will be returning you request specification. So what are the methods available in request specification means? Okay, so we have method called as body. If you want to specify the body, you have to give body. Through body only you have to call. Okay, so you have body. Hmm, okay, so one second. Yeah, you have auth. Okay, to set any authentications if you want. Yes, we have to call first given. Through given only these methods are accessible. If you want to validate, first you have to call then. Through then only they are accessible. Okay, because the return types are there. Only if given returns your request specification, then you are providing implementation for this. So you can utilize it. Otherwise, they are all abstract. You cannot utilize. Okay. So under auth, we have basic, we have auth 2. Okay, we have digestive auth. Okay, like this couple of methods are there. And coming to param, okay, I think it is, if you want to specify any path parameter, you should use path param. Similarly, if you want to specify any query parameter, the method is query param. Okay, if you want to specify any form parameter, the method is form param. There is another method called as param parameter. Okay, param param. So this method will help you. It's like a combination of both path and query. Okay. So with
Ma'am,
these are, tell me.
ma'am, like base URI and port and base path, this will be also under that, no, ma'am?
Yeah, under
Like
your rest assured.
condition.
No, no, no. See, this is a main class, right? So he has given it as an option for you. Okay.
Okay.
Even though they are prerequisites, you can directly call them because they are variables. They are not methods.
Okay, means except this query param, form param, parameter, these
Right.
three are by default present in the trace assured class.
No, no. Base URI is by default present in the rest assured class. But if you
Yeah.
want to set the body, if you want to set authentication, see, body authentication and parameters and all, sometimes it will be there, sometimes it will not be there. Okay, if you take get method, there is no authentication. You don't have to use any of this. But base URI is mandatory, right? If you want to execute
Yeah.
any request, base URI should be there.
Yeah, ma'am.
So that's why it is readily available in rest assured. Request specification is an option. If you want, you have to use. Otherwise, not required. Okay,
Ma'am,
only if it is having preconditions, you should use it.
like, ma'am, suppose if we are having base URL, so first we will call that rest assured class, then we'll directly write that base URL by using
Yes,
that base URL. And
yes.
if
You will
we
get an
want to
idea.
give another preconditions like body authentication, then we have to
Correct.
first call given method, then
Given.
we have to go to that.
Correct.
Right now, ma'am? Okay, ma'am.
Yes. Now understood?
Yes, ma'am,
Okay.
got it.
Observe. One more point I'm giving here. Okay. Even in request specification, you have all the HTTP methods. and delete. The reason is, when you use the request specification, let's say you are using body or you're using path parameter, anything from request specification, to send the request, no need to go back to rest assured class. You can use it from request specification method itself. Okay, to make user friendly, to make the libraries more convenient, he's going to give these HTTP methods also in request specification. What is the written type of this?
Man response.
Again, the written type is response. Okay, so when we go for BTD approach, okay, so directly if there is no prerequisites needed, then we can make use of another class. Okay, another class called as, okay, request sender. It's a class and it consists of all your or only your HTTP methods. Okay, it consists of only the HTTP methods. So this request sender is the written type of your when method. Okay, it's the written type of your when method. So you will understand it more precisely, okay, when we do the practicals. So it's not very difficult. It's not very difficult. So these are the major classes and interfaces what you need to remember. With this, there are a couple of other classes also. So let me write it at least. Request spec builder. Okay, response spec builder. So these are the two classes available to store, or I can tell, to store all the common actions which are required. But when we design the framework, I will make use of it. So as of now, we don't need it. So this, if you are able to understand this much, then it is well and good. Okay, at least this much. Okay, who, what is a written type of what? That you should know properly.
Ma'am,
So
could you,
given is going to
ma'am, could you repeat that request sender?
request sender. Okay, request sender is the written type of your when method. When we go for BDD approach, what happens? If I don't have any preconditions, I cannot directly class call with rest assured. Okay, in BDD we have to follow given when then format itself. That particular time, when you want to directly send the request without any given preconditions, you have to use when. The written type of when is request sender, which is going to contain only the HTTP methods, because when is going to perform only action. Action is nothing but your HTTP method. Okay. So two classes, three interfaces. You should remember. Main class of rest assured is rest assured. All the HTTP methods is going to return you response. Response contains getters and validations. I mean, response parameters. So then will return you validatable response. When will return you request sender. Given will return you request specifications. Okay. I'll give you 2 minutes of time. Just analyze. In rest assured, understanding the class diagram will be little challenging at the initial days, but after that you'll get used to it. Okay, you feel it more easy. If you are done, we'll proceed.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
ma'am, this request spec builder and response spec builder are the written types of which part, ma'am?
No. They are completely separate. Okay, they are not returning or they are not capturing anything. It's like a separate
Okay.
class going to store all the common actions. Request specification will store common actions of request, and response specification is going to store common actions of response.
And both are classes, ma'am.
Both are classes. Okay, for example, let me write it. Request spec builder, you can have like set base URI, okay, set content type. So they are all common actions, okay, which is mandatory for everything. So either you use request specification or you use this spec builders. Response is like you can go with log.all. Okay, common actions, whatever you want to store, it is going to store. Okay, while doing framework, I'll use it. Okay, I'll show you both the ways with using that, without using that. To start with rest assured, these five things are major.
And
Yeah.
ma'am, base URI, port, and base path, these are also methods of rest assured only.
Variables. See, there are method in the sense I should write parenthesis, right? Okay, these are all static variables present in rest assured class. Okay, done. Is it done? Shall I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now observe. So I think yesterday we created a project. What is the project name? Yeah.
Yes, they did rest.
Yeah. Okay. So yesterday 39 rest assured framework. First, let me do the project configuration. Project configuration in the sense the tools, whatever you need, you require, let me add them. So already I have added Jackson Mapper and I have added Commons IO. So a couple of other tools are there. So what are the tools on a whole you need to add is one is your rest assured, okay, to perform API automation. Another one is there is a tool called as JSON Simple. The reason for this JSON Simple tool is it enables you to create JSON object. Okay, it enables you to create JSON object easily. Okay, this is one of the reason. And Commons IO to read the file. Okay, it is a file container, so you can read file with the help of Commons IO. And you have okay Jackson Mapper. This is a tool to perform serialization and deserialization. With this, I make use of TestNG, which is a unit testing platform. I make use of MySQL for my database connections, and you can also add Selenium for UI automation. For Selenium, whatever you need, okay, like Apache Boy, okay, and it might be WebDriver Manager, okay, all other web UI automation tools remain same. With that, you are going to add these four libraries, okay. Entirely it will be maintained as a same single framework. Okay, you take mobile versions, you take APIs, you take UI, everything will be consolidated under one framework. Okay, so these are the couple of tools you are going to add. So let me start adding one by one. Okay, good, I have added testng also. So if you want, I'll write a comment like this because when I push it to frame GitHub, it will be easy for you. Okay. So this is used for okay creating JSON file. Okay. So this is a unit testing framework. Okay. Let me add it. So let me search for JSON simple. Okay, so this is the first option is your actual toolkit. So json.simple Google code. Only two versions are available. Under that, very static is 1.1.1. Copy the dependency. So let me put it in the chat box so you can also add it. Let me come back to the project. I'll add. So this is used for okay, this is used for creation of JSON object. Okay, so TestNG I have already added. Commons IO is over. Jackson Mapper is over. Let me add MySQL also. Any version you can take it, not a problem. 299. Okay, 330. I'm just picking on maximum usages. Okay, so why this? This is used for MySQL database connection. And lastly, let me add rest assured. Okay, all the dependencies you want me to send, I'll send it. Okay, first option, choose any stable version, doesn't matter. So let me choose 4.4.0. Yeah, I will send it, guys. Rest assured. Okay, and here you go, MySQL. JSON simple. Commons IO. Okay, I have shared it. Quickly configure your projects. Configure the project and save it. Once you are done, just let me know. We'll start with CRUD operations.
Ma'am, total five we have to add now, ma'am.
Sorry?
Total five is there, no?
Rest assured, MySQL connector 3, 4, 5, 6. If you leave Jackson Mapper and Commons IO 4. Completed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now what I'm going to do is go to src/test/java. Okay. Let me create a package. Okay, just follow the same steps. How my framework I have designed, it should be in the same way for you. Whatever I do, follow it. Okay. Basic, I'll give it as CRUD operations. Okay, basic CRUD operations. I'm going to give package name for every concept so that it will be easy for you to brush it up during your interview process. Okay, let me create a class. And remember, class name should be always your test case name. So here, just imagine like create project. Okay, create project is the test case. So we are trying to do it. Okay, let me create a test method. Test public void create project test. Okay, always I'll write the steps. Step number 1, create the data necessary. Always. Let me go with step number 2, send the request. And step number 3, validate the response. Any API request you create, these are your 3 steps. First, create the required data, send a request, validate the response. Okay, so we'll start with the initial step. How do you create the data? Okay, so imagine data, or I can tell prerequisites. Okay, prerequisites required. Prerequisites. Okay, I can tell prerequisites. So if you take create project, what is prerequisite here? What is prerequisite here? Even I need to have request body, right? Request body I have to create. Yes. So first, observe, let me create the request body using a JSON object. Okay. So JSON object obj is equal to new of JSON object. First, I'm just trying to create a body. Then I'm going to attach it to my request. Okay. So obj dot, you have a method called as put. Basically, this put, don't get confused with your HTTP method. This is a collection method. Okay, are you able to see here from hash map it is taking? Okay, it is a collection method. In list, if you want to add any data, you have add method. Like that, in hash map, you have a method called as put, which will add value into your hash map. Okay, hash map, JSON object both behave in a similar way because both support key and value pair. Okay, don't get confused. This put and that put is totally different. We have not started rest assured library yet. Okay, so provide the data created by. Okay, all the attributes you have to give it in the form of key and value only. So then I think I have project name. Let me open the Swagger. Okay, once again. Okay, project controller, post request, project name, yeah, project name. Let me give it as sdet 39. Okay, let me create obj dot put status ongoing obj dot put team size. Okay, 12. So this is the data which I have created. Now observe how do I give it in my request. Okay, observe how I'm going to give it in the request. So if I have any required data I have to give, then from where I have to start? Where I have to start? From given. As I said, all are static methods. Okay, call by class name. See, all are static. Okay, rest assured dot given. So what this is going to return me? What this given is going to return me? Okay, so it's going to return you request specification. Now observe, with the help of this request specification, I will call the body method. Okay, body is a method. If you observe body, it is a overloaded method. Okay, any format you can send it. So let me choose obj and request dot content type. Okay, so it will accept the parameter of type content type. So it's an enum block content type dot json. Okay, so next what I have to do to send the request, I have set the preconditions. Then what I have to do? Observe, in the same request specification, I have used body and I have used content type. Okay, now I'm going to use post method from the same request specification. Okay, that is why he has given it twice. So request dot, okay, use post. As of now, I'll not use base URI. Let me call it here itself. HTTP colon double slash localhost 8084. What is the endpoint? Endpoint is add project. Okay, I'm sending the response. I'm sending a request. Now tell me what it is going to return me. What it is going to return me? Response. Okay, it's going to return me the response. What you can do here is, okay, response dot, see, all these are getter methods: get body, get content type, get cookies, okay, get header, get session id, status line, get the time. Okay, anything you can use and you can provide it. So let us use get content type. So it is a getter, so I can print and check it out. Okay, let me print it. Print the content type. Okay, similarly, let me print the status code. Get status code. You can also print response dot get status line. Okay, anything you can print it. And with this, observe, let me add one more print statement. Response dot, I think I did not tell you in this, I have not written, I guess. Okay, there are some response parameters like, okay, pretty print, pretty print, okay, pretty peak, as string. Okay, how you want your response. Okay, how you want to view your response. Do you want to view it as a string, okay, or in a pretty print format? They are all formats. Okay, see, they are all formats. Okay, so if you observe, pretty print is going to return you string, pretty peak is going to return you the response, and as pretty string is going to return you string. First, let me check how this pretty, or first I will check for as string. Okay, let me check it for as string. Let us print and see. Okay, let me run it. Observe, get content type I have given. So content type is application slash JSON. Get status code is 201. Get status line, so in which line status code is present, that entire line is printing. And if you are able to see, this is your as string. Okay, so it is basically printing only the response body, not the header. Okay, keep this as it is. Let me show one more printing format. Response dot pretty print. Let me run it. Observe. So this is your as string. This is your pretty print. Same response body. It is printing little bit in the form of JSON object. Okay, but it is printing twice. Now observe one more printing point. I'll use it. Response dot pretty peak. Okay, these are all simple printing formats. So we are checking which is better so that we can adopt that. Observe. So this is your as string. This is your pretty print, and this is your pretty peak. So pretty peak is going to print the header as well as the response body. See, this is the header, this is the response body. So always preferable is pretty peak. And usually we don't use any of these printing formats. Okay, response dot, let me use a method called as then. Okay, the return type of then is, if you want, let me store it. Okay, let me store it. Observe. See, response dot then. So this is going to give me what? Validatable response. Okay, so this, with the help of this validate, let me use log dot all method. Okay, simple terms, if you want to use log dot all, you should have validatable response, so you should call it via then. Let me run it. Okay, so this is your pretty print, so this is your pretty peak, and this is your log dot all. So what is the conclusion is, pretty peak and log dot all works in the same fashion. So it is better to use pretty peak or log dot all. Okay, take a picture of this. Try everything so that it will be, you can come to a conclusion. You will have exposure to all the HTTP, I mean all the methods present in your rest assured class.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
ma'am, in Postman we were giving a request, then that will be shown in the database.
Hmm.
Ma'am, is this will be saved in the database or it is only running?
I don't understand whether you have understood the concept or not.
Ma'am,
Whatever you do in Postman, obviously it's valid rest assured, right? These
yes,
are
ma'am.
just a tool, but the operations are same. So if you do anything here, obviously it should be present in your database also. Okay, database is related with your application. These are all tools. That's it. Any tool you want, you use it. Okay, if you want, let me use projects. Select star from project. Are you able to see here? This has been created today. Now, okay, whatever you do, it will be present. Okay, so if you are given access, you can verify it. That's why I have given RMG Yantra. If you take open source applications, it is not possible because they don't give you database access. Okay, anything you can verify here. Okay, similarly, is it understood? Actually speaking, it this much is not your program. Only this much is your program. Okay, just for validation, we are doing so much. Yeah, tell me. Hmm.
I'm like when you have created the pre-request for that different thing like
Your voice
when,
is breaking because.
hello ma'am, now I'm audible.
Yeah, tell me. Yeah,
Then like
better.
how it is understanding like for every put method which we are using in that JSON object, how it is going to the next line automatically. Like
How
in
it
the
is going?
yeah,
See. This is taken as one request. Okay, not request. If I tell request, you will get confused. This is taken as one data set. This is another data set. Okay, this is one more data set. This is another data set. In consolidating everything is your one object. Okay, that object you are passing in the body. So all the things what you have written, it is considered for single request.
so ma'am,
Okay, that's
we have created JSON object so that we can create an object and then with the help of that object reference value that is ODB,
yes.
we are storing that all the things in that object. Like
Yes.
like whatever.
Yeah. It's not mandatory. Like you have to use JSON object only. Okay, I'll show you. We can use Pojo class. We can use JSON file. We can use any file input stream. Okay, or you can use hash map, any key value pair. It is going to accept. Okay, that we will do it tomorrow. But as of now, practice with JSON object. It's just this is only creating object. It is like you are making the data ready. That's all. In the body, you are passing that data. Okay, because in the body I cannot keep on using these details, right? I have to pass one argument. So that one argument I'm passing with the help of JSON object. Okay, now observe guys, let me execute a get request.
One more thing, ma'am. Ma'am, in line number 28, we are giving the telling that it is an JSON body which we are passing. That's it, right?
That's it.
Like ma'am, we have written on content type dot JSON. So we were using their application slash JSON when we were using
No. Application slash JSON is a content type. I agree. Here in the library we have created two content types already, like .json, .xml. They have already created. Internally, its content type for JSON is application slash JSON itself. Since they have given you enum block, why you have to write application slash JSON? Okay, he is only created. This is a library specific. Okay. In your response, actually application will contain application slash JSON only. But here, for your coding purpose, he is given it as an enum block. Enum in the sense only static, not static. How do I tell? Final variables, they are going to make it as an enum.
Ma'am, like when we were using Postman, then we used to go to raw material, then we go to select JSON, then automatically that content type, that application, that
Yes.
JSON gets created, right?
Yes.
So same thing being here. You have to find
Yes.
pass content type and then the JSON will be it will understand that we are calling the JSON application.
Yes. Okay. See, guys, what I suggest is Postman and Rest Assured both are two different entities. Some things you might feel in Postman it was easy because you have used it for 2 weeks. Some things you might feel Rest Assured is easy. Don't try to compare. Okay, that is easy, this is easy. Okay, the formats on which the two platforms are built is totally different. Okay, so in Postman they have made it as raw, they have made you to ask choose text or anything. Here they have given it like this. Okay, that's how you have to understand. Content is same. Okay, so here content type is an enum block, so it is going to give .json. For any request you should send the content type. Okay, previously in Postman it was automatically taken, but here you have to send, otherwise it will throw you an error.
Yeah, ma'am. I meant to ask the same thing, like
Yeah.
comparing that.
You have to send. Yes.
Yeah.
No. Also, even here you will get the conflict also. Mine is an old version, so I'm not getting it. Okay, even here you are going to get the conflict. You can use random number. Application has not changed. In Postman, it's giving conflict Angala. It's not like that. Okay, so application is same. Here also you are going to get the conflict, but not for me because I'm using older version. This version what I have will not create conflict for me, even though project names are same. For you, it is
Okay.
going to give. Okay. Ma'am, why do Pretty Print gives body 2 times? That is how he has designed. I don't know what he had kept when designing that. So it is going to give you 2 times. Okay, it's a library. Yeah. Okay. Now let me go for get all projects. That's all, guys. All others you should do. Public void get all projects. Now tell me. So if you want to get all the projects, first let me write the steps. Step number 1. Create prerequisites. Step number 2. Step number 2. Send the request. Step number 3. Validate the response. So now, to perform get all operations, do I have any prerequisite? Get all
No.
projects. Do I have any prerequisite? No. So directly started with what? Rest assured dot. Directly you can go with get method. Are you able to see? I'm trying to use it in multiple platforms. So let me give the URL :/localhost 8084/projects. Okay, projects is my endpoint. So what is the return type of this? Okay, it's get HTTP method. It is going to return you response. Now observe. Let's say X. Let me create an integer. Okay, int expected status. Okay, is equal to 200. Okay, so let me take response dot get status code. So what is this? Can I take this as actual status? Okay, expected status code is 200. This is my actual status code. Now let me provide assert dot assert equals, so actual status with expected status. Are you able to analyze? So I'm using assertions for my rest assured scripts also. Okay, doesn't change. Nothing is going to change. So this one line is going to perform the request for you. Okay, let me save it and let me run it. Okay, script executed. If it is passed, that means my assertion is passed. Is it clear? Now similarly, let me do updation so that it will be easy. Update project test @test click void update project. Okay, step number 1, create prerequisites. Step number 2, send the request. And step number 3, validate the response. Okay, so do I have any prerequisite for updation? For updation, do I have any prerequisite?
Yes,
I need to send the
Yes,
body.
body is required.
You type it, but I'm going to take the same thing. Okay, so instead of ongoing, let me give it as completed. Okay, let me give it as completed. Now observe, let me send the data. So let me go with rest assured. If you have a prerequisite, go with given. So given is going to return you request specification. So with this request, send body obj. With this request, send content type. Okay, you can choose content type with the help of enum block, content type.json. Okay, then with this request, use which method? I think patch is not supported, so I have to go with put. Observe, put is coming from where? Request senders. Okay, from your rest assured, not from your hash map. http://localhost 8084 /projects/project ID. Let me take this project ID itself. Okay, let me just take the same project ID which I want to update. Okay, observe 9805. So it is, the status is currently ongoing. Okay, so this is going to give me the response. Okay, let me just print the content type of response, or let me print only the status code. Okay, let me save it and let me run it. Still we have complex validations, that this and all, we will do it. Okay, slowly we'll do it. So basic CRUD operations you try. Are you able to see here? 9805 is the project. So the status was ongoing. Now it has been updated to completed. Okay. Similarly, if you want delete operation, delete project test, create prerequisites. Step 2, send the request. Step 3, validate the response. Okay, so for delete project, do you have any prerequisite?
Yeah.
What is a prerequisite? Okay.
No, ma'am.
Yeah.
No, please.
Path parameter. We can give path parameter, but I will not take it as a prerequisite as of now. Okay, because I have not done with parameter yet. So we'll directly go with rest assured dot. Okay, when there is no prerequisite, directly you can call HTTP method from rest assured. HTTP :/localhost 8084 /projects/ the same project ID which I have updated. Let me delete it. Okay.
You have missed from the project test.
Sorry.
Ma'am, you have missed E symbol in there delete project test.
Delete. Oh, it's okay, fine. Now it is okay. So response dot get status code. What is the expected status code for delete? Okay, let me send the request. See, project is deleted. Let me execute the same. Project is gone. Are you able to understand? So please practice this for the day. So tomorrow we are going to go with BDD approach for CRUD operations. Okay. As of now, we have not completely used BDD. We have just used partial. Only given I have showed you when to go with when, how to use then, everything we are going to see tomorrow. Okay. So if you want to take pictures, you can take it. Yeah, take it.
Just ma'am, show the update for the test.
Are you done with the delete?
Yes ma'am, done.
Update.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
ma'am, here, like we in that course when if we have to change data partially, then we were using batch method. But here we have only put method. Whether we have to change partial or we have to change whole data, we have to make use of that.
Guys, you are literally making me cry, guys. I'm telling you, put or patch, whatever it is application specific. No. Have I changed the application here or I have changed the tool? Tell me. I have changed the tool, right? If there is no patch here, can I use patch? Frankly, tell me, have you understood?
Yes.
See, if you want to use put or patch, doesn't matter. See, I have patch method, but why I'm not using? My application does not support it. Please understand. We are testing the same API. I'm not testing any different API. I have just changed the tool. Whatever you have in Postman, better options you have in Rest Assured. Please understand. Okay, I am using put method here because my application supports only put. We have not changed the application. Please, I'm repeatedly telling you. Okay, I know if you are feeling it difficult, practice it today, it will be easy. Okay, same thing. Whatever you have done in Postman, everything is valid in Rest Assured. Okay, it's not about the tool. If Rest Assured did not support a couple of things, then people would have not used at all, right? Okay, practice it. Done? Ma'am, delete. Okay, take up. Just one line code actually. You will tell me at the end of the sessions. Okay, maybe after we complete the framework, you will tell, ma'am, UI automation is difficult, API automation is very easy. Trust me, at least 2 in a batch will tell that. Compared to UI, API is easy. Done? Okay. Fine guys, we'll catch up tomorrow.